Hello everyone, welcome to my 1000 subscriber special. To mark this milestone, I made this pumpkin spice cake, which is both vegan and gluten-free. I figured a pumpkin spice cake would be perfect for this because I crossed 1000 subscribers right in the beautiful season of autumn. Just to give you an idea of how beautiful this season is here, I'm gonna put up a photo really quickly. I snapped it this morning when I was out and about. So yes, we're very lucky to have such beautiful autumn leaves and scenery here in Minneapolis. This episode is split into two parts. In part one, you'll see me bake the two 8-inch round pumpkin spice cakes, which make up the two layers of the cake. And in part two, you'll see me stack the cakes, frost them, decorate them, light the candles on top, dig into it, and spoiler alert, the pumpkin spice cake was delicious. With all that being said, I'm gonna close out this intro section and bring you over to part one. All right, welcome to the cake baking section of this episode. There's 6 dry ingredients, which I've set over here, and then there's 5 wet ingredients over on this side. So let's go through each of the 6 dry ingredients first, and then we'll move along to each of the wet ingredients. First up, there's 2.5 cups of gluten-free flour. I especially love this King Arthur Baking Company brand of gluten-free flour. There's also 1 3/4 cups of granulated sugar, 1.5 tablespoons of pumpkin pie spice, 1 teaspoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, and then to round out the dry ingredients, there's 1 teaspoon of salt. Now for the wet ingredients, there's 1.5 cups of unsweetened almond milk, 1 cup of pumpkin puree, 1/2 cup of extra virgin olive oil, 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar, and finally 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Now let's go through the 5 recipe steps I'll be showing you here. I've linked the recipe down in the description box in case you'd like to make some of these pumpkin spice cakes yourself. For step number 1, I'll whisk together all 6 of the dry ingredients in a large glass bowl. So that'll be the gluten-free flour, the white granulated sugar, the baking powder, the baking soda, the salt, and the pumpkin pie spice. For step number 2, I'll whisk together all of the wet ingredients in a separate glass bowl. So that'll be the extra virgin olive oil, the almond milk, the apple cider vinegar, the pumpkin puree, and the vanilla extract. For step number 3, I'll take the wet ingredient mixture and pour it into the dry ingredient mixture and mix everything together until the batter is just combined. I don't want to overmix the cake batter. For step number 4, I'll evenly divide the cake batter between 2 greased and lined 8-inch baking pans, and I've got those all ready to go right over here. I prepped these in advance, so to give you an idea of what they look like, here you go. One is a bit deeper than the other, but I'm not going for perfection here. These will just have to do. And then for step number 5, which is the final step you'll see here in this segment of the video, I'll place the 2 cake pans into my oven and bake them for 40 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That's everything you need to know about the ingredients going into this pumpkin spice cake, as well as the recipe steps I'm following. So without further ado, let's get this cake baked. The 2 pumpkin spice cakes are now in the oven, which means it's the end of this segment of the video. You're just gonna have to wait a few seconds longer to see the finished cakes right here at my countertop. Let me bring you over there. Hello, I'm so excited to show you how these 2 round pumpkin spice cakes turned out. So these cakes have been hanging out in my fridge for quite a bit. They're really chilly and nice and solid. So there you have it. Here's one of the 2 cakes, and I love the pumpkin color that came through on the bake. I'm gonna set these off to the side for now and just let them hang out. And now we'll go through the frosting and pumpkin decoration ingredients right here. There's 6 of them total, so let's go through each of them one by one super quickly. First up, there's 400 grams of vegan plant butter, and I want to note here that the frosting recipe I'm using is actually separate from the pumpkin spice cake recipe, and the frosting recipe uses metric units, so if you're a little confused as to why I'm mentioning grams in this segment, that's why. There's also 360 grams of confectioner's sugar, 80 grams of this Tofutti brand vegan cream cheese, 1 teaspoon teaspoon of cinnamon, a sprinkling of Hershey's cocoa powder, and finally a small dab of orange food coloring. I'll be following 7 steps to frost and decorate this pumpkin spice cake. For step number 1, I'll whisk together the vegan plant butter and the vegan cream cheese until creamy. For step number 2, I'll add in the confectioner's sugar and the cinnamon, and I'll whisk together the frosting mixture for about 5 minutes. For step number 3, I'll frost the pumpkin cakes, the 2 rounds of cake I showed you just a moment ago. I'll do it layer by layer, so I'll set the first cake round on my cake stand, and I've got that right over here. I'll show you super quickly this lovely cake stand I've used in previous episodes. And one important note here, I'm going to set aside some of the frosting to use at a later time to pipe on the pumpkin decorations that go on the outside of the cake. For step number 4, I'll place the cake into my fridge and let the frosting set for about 10 minutes. Then for step number 5, I'll prep the orange colored frosting and the brown colored frosting for the pumpkin decorations. I'll use the orange food coloring and the Hershey's cocoa powder to make those 2 colored frostings, and I'll put each of them into their own piping bag. For step number 6, I'll remove the frosted cake from my fridge. I'll place it right here for you to see, and I'll pipe on the pumpkin decorations. And then for step number 7, the final step of this frosting and decorating segment of the video, I'll show you a close-up of the finished cake, dig into it, and let you know what I think. Now that we've gone through all of the frosting and decorating details, let's just jump right in and get this frosting made. Voila, we are done with the cake. I took it upon myself to put in the 1,000 subscriber candles. Before I dig in, I'm just gonna grab one of my matchboxes and light these candles. Woo, come on, candle. Come on, candle. Okay. Not trying to set my fire alarm off. So while we've got these lit, I'm gonna make a little wish for my channel. So now that that's done, I'm gonna move this over here because I'm gonna plate up a slice for myself. And this cake is so soft. Look at how clean that knife came out of the cake. All right, I'm gonna try not to drop it. Oh my gosh, this is so pretty. I'm definitely gonna need to hand out some of this cake to my family, my friends, but just look at that beautiful color. Oh my goodness, the smell is divine. I just have to let you know in case you do decide to try this cake or you're wondering about this cake and if you should make it at home, 10 out of 10 would recommend this. Let's dig into this cake and get some of the frosting as well, a little bit of the pumpkin decoration. This is some of the lightest cake I think I've ever eaten. It cuts like a knife through butter. It melts in your mouth. Everything about this is just tantalizing. Well, everyone, that concludes this 1,000 subscriber special. I have to take a moment here to say thank you so much for helping me to reach this milestone. To be quite honest, I never thought that I would get anywhere close to 1,000 subscribers this year. If you go back to my New Year's 2024 video, you'll hear me say that my goal for YouTube subscribers was 500. If I could go back in time and tell myself that I would get to 1,000 by the end of September, my mind would have been blown. It's amazing to know that there's that many of you who've subscribed and you watch my content here, and I love the community that we're building on this channel. It's been such a delight, and I cannot wait to see where the future takes us. If you like this subscriber special, then definitely check out the 500 subscriber special that I made, I don't know, maybe back in March or April of this year. I've linked that at the end of this video, and I also linked my birthday cake that I made in September, just last month, when I hit this milestone, I made a 3-tiered red velvet vegan and gluten-free birthday cake for myself. So you've got your fill if you've got a sweet tooth and you're craving a delicious cake, because there's 3 for you between this one and the 2 that I've linked for you to check out. Take care, my lovely foodies. Thank you so incredibly much for all of your support that you've shown me over these past months and years. Eat well, and I'll see you in the next episode on this channel. Bye!
Thank you.